I'm sure Arlene will love that mountain over there. It sure is, Purdy. Arlene loves your Purdy Mountains. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator, where today, I don't know what we're going to carry. Let's look at the freight market. We are currently, I'm going to say, got options from Los Angeles to Bakersfield to Oxnard. Let's have a look. Oxnard to Carson City. That's nice journey. I would like to get up to Ukiah if that is possible. Not from Oxnard. Let's see LA. LA to... That's not selected LA. There we go. Anything up to Ukiah, whatever it's supposed to be pronounced. Pioche, Reno... No. Let's try Bakersfield. And it looks like it's another big no. If I can get something to Ehrenberg, I'll be quite happy as well. Although it doesn't... No. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take... Yeah, this can't go too wrong. I'll take some cement from Oxnard up to Eli, because it looks relatively close by. Let's connect onto the server. It's night time, so I'm going to need my lights on. And let's get going. Now it is actually quite late at night when I'm recording this. It is currently 10:30 at night, so it is realistically quite late. I spent quite a while trying to do something and failing miserably. I've been trying to overcome some scumbag in Farm Sim modding community who decided to password protect his mod and make it so that you had to pay to unlock the password. Which, by the way, if you do that with Farm Sim, you are breaking the terms of service. That's not something you're supposed to do. Then again, scumbag's gonna scumbag, and let's get the full lights on here. Just rocket down the road as quickly as we can to pick up this load, because I think it is quite a distance we have to go to collect it, and because nobody's coming, we can do this. Wouldn't normally I wouldn't normally go this quickly down the road, but I do want to get this load picked up quite quickly. Gearbox isn't too happy with me, at least. I will say again, I don't normally drive, well, I do occasionally drive this quickly, but this is just to get the load picked up as quickly as possible. Just in the lights. It doesn't matter too much that I'm... How did I get a speeding offense? Doesn't matter too much that I am buzzing around something mental. So I have been doing longer deliveries of late because multiplayer, I figure why not. Let's hit the limiter and just kind of cruise for a bit. Now I know it is dark, so I'll just throw on my full beam so you guys can actually see what's going on, and so that I can see what's going on just as importantly. heading towards coastline mining, apparently. Which I guess is where we're headed to get the cement. It would make sense to pick... I guess it would make sense to pick cement up for a mine. From a mine. For a mine? Why would you want cement at a mine? Other than, you know, a building project, I guess. And... we are in fact going to be stopping at a coastline mining. So what I'll do is when we get up to the sign here, I'll start indicating. I know there's nobody else on the road, but just... in case anybody was coming up behind us. And because it's a freight market job, I need to stop, enter freight market, and take that job up to Eli in Nevada. First gear. And just carefully cruise the truck in. Now, is that our trailer there? It's right beside it. So if we were to pull in here, like so, we can in theory just... yeah, we're gonna get this first time, I think. Yep, first time. Raise the legs because I'll damage the trailer quite heavily if I don't. Legs are raised. Put it out. And now I will obey the speed limits and the rules of the road properly. Nothing coming that way. Nothing coming that way. So let's get this thing up to 55. And we shouldn't have too many issues going uphill because of the 600 odd horsepower we got in the engine. It's just a case of getting up to speed and then cruising. This is only a slight hill, so I'm not too concerned, I guess is the best word, with losing speed. What gear I'm in even. Because there's going to be a downhill section just here. What goes up must go back down, unless you're on a stairway to heaven, I guess. And all we need to do now is sit back multiple times at once, and cruise along while listening to channel 19 of the radio, which I have turned off. Lovely. So I've made some changes, some actually quite small changes to the channel, and I think I can say with some confidence that I'm happy with them. They're definitely helping in terms of, oh, this is going to be a really nice place to take a screenshot because the truck's actually going to be lit up. Sorry, need to take a screenshot for the thumbnail. So I should put on that and that. And really quickly go into Photo Studio, Photo Mode. We will take a picture of our truck from a cool angle. Let's go up for this one. Capture the screenshot, and there we go. That's all I needed to do. It does help if I change it to 5th instead of 3rd. I have a habit of doing that. I don't actually know how I'm doing for fuel or driver rest right now. How am I doing? We'll make it. Probably with fuel time to spare. I will rest up before Sunday's video, at the very least. Just to make sure, well, refuel as well. Refueling is going to be a thing. That's going to be a necessary step in between videos. Resting up, not so much. So I said hello to this guy. We both honked at the same time. I love when that happens. This would appear to be a convoy of some description. Either that or they've all got similar jobs and are just going coincidentally in the same direction. That is just as likely. It seems like about half the trailers in multiplayer are Walmart. I don't know if that's real, if that's true to real America, but ATS, my god, Walbert, sorry, is like overwhelmingly the provider of jobs. And there's actually somebody stopped up in that freight yard over there. So if you didn't know already, the little blue dots on the PDA that you can see there on the GPS, they're other players. If you see a pink dot, and it will be like hot pink like my truck, that's a Steam friend who's in the game at the moment. So if you see a hot pink dot, it's somebody I do know, or I should know. They're most common in the streams when I've got Fahy and Simulate and Ford, and occasionally ads going around. They'll be more and more common as more people add me on Steam, which, by the way, I don't mind you doing that. Really don't. That doesn't bother me too much. I go offline when I'm recording and when I'm streaming, so if I'm online, the odds are I'm able to talk, or I've forgotten to go offline, which I do. That does happen occasionally. So why can't I dip down? Why can't I dip down? Huh. That's an odd one. I should have been able to just dip my head down there. Guess that's not a thing I can do today. That's potentially problematic if we come across a wonky light. Watching the rear of the trailer, and I damaged the front of the truck. Then again, the truck is a bit more I don't want to say disposable, but disposable. I wonder, is it that I'm kind of already... There we go, we can sink a bit and get a bit of extra view in, so it's not terrible. May need to change the detection on that though, because that's... Let's just keep the speed relatively low here, because we are coming into Fresno. And we're gonna hit a 35 relatively soon. We're at 25. There's a 30, so let's just be a bit cautious with how we're driving. Especially now there's somebody coming in the other direction. I'll leave them go. I'll actually intentionally crawl up to this intersection. Oh, I think they're trying to leave me go. Yeah, they're turning off. Apparently the honking means hello and thank you and pretty much anything that could possibly be said, so I honked as a courtesy. Because there's no... Well, I don't have voice chat enabled, so... And plus I don't know what language people speak, so I could have said thank you in whatever language I know thank you in, and I could still have been wrong. So, coming up here on another turn. I don't actually know what time it's supposed to be in game. It looks like it's early morning. Let's have a look. 4:53 AM. So yeah, early morning. We're over 30 miles an hour. So I'm trying to keep to the speed limits as much as I can. Now, we can get the pedal down, build the revs up. And just get moving. I'm not going to refuel there because it would involve me taking some really tight turns that I don't want to do. D51. Actually, let's go to 6 high. And then now 7 low. Well, that made no difference at all because the hill that's actually scrubbing speed. Stick it in 6th at high revs. There's 55. Yeah, we got cruise control set at 55. And the joy of the head tracking, which is Trackhat, by the way, I really should get in contact with them to see if we can get sponsorship. If anybody from Trackhat is actually watching, hit me up, yo. I ain't gonna say no. I'll happily endorse your product because it is a quality product. I've always said that I don't mind, or I wouldn't mind taking sponsorships as long as I know the product well, or well enough to be confident saying, hey, this is something you should possibly buy. I mean, if I ain't gonna use it, I ain't gonna say, hey, you should probably use this thing. What's the point of that? This is going to be 30 miles an hour because this trailer is insanely heavy. I'm hoping nobody comes against me because, or even behind me, because I can't get this trailer going much faster than this. I mean, I guess it makes sense because I am just carrying cement. I wonder, is it like liquid cement, in which case it's probably not something you want to be carrying around in a trailer like this. I presume it's like powdered cement. So we're almost at 55 again, which means it's almost time for me to hit the cruise control button. 53, 54, 55, cruise control on. Feet off the pedals, I can relax. We're headed through the desert. What time is it in game now? 10 past 5. We can take off the full beams. There's no need for that. As long as we got our normal lights on, it doesn't really matter all that much. Actually, I'll just keep them on for the sake of illuminating things, so you guys get a slightly better view of what's going on as I play with the pencil. I'm not scribbling on anything today, I'm just going to play with it. So we're going to hit through the Nevada desert by the looks of it on the way up, which is nice. I mean, these vistas in ATS are just breathtaking at times. The rescale is going to do these a lot more justice because this will be a much bigger area. I mean, it's already a big area, big area. It almost looks like we're heading through an ancient asteroid crater. Just because this area is relatively flat. And you got the big mountains either side. The big hill to come in and out of it. I wouldn't be too surprised, but at the same time, I doubt it. I mean, it's just a kind of a relatively flat area, and it's so ridiculously condensed as well that it probably wouldn't be a real thing. So this is the one thing I don't like about ATS is a lot of it is in a way bland and featureless, like this area here. I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about other than those mountains sure do look pretty. That's about it. That mountain over there, it sure is pretty. I'm sure Arlene will love that mountain over there. It sure is pretty. Arlene loves your pretty mountains. Now watch this drive. Nevada, you beauty with your 70-mile-an-hour speed limits. Means I can put the foot down. Ish. 60. 61. 62, 63, 64, 65. I'm worried about the state of the truck at the moment. No, we're good. Gonna lose a bit of speed here because I'm at low revs, which isn't full torque, but we'll gain it back. And then some, hopefully. 66. 65, okay, let's go back to 7th. And we'll use 7 high. Cruise control on at 70. Which is just beautiful that I can get a speed up. I would argue that's well stopped. Nothing coming. Yeah, and yes, I am just using high gears for now because it's easier. Need to slow down my shifts though, because I'm hearing the gearbox rattling and it's not sounding too good. 55. Need to slow down until I can actually hear the hissing. Woo, 40. 40. There we go. We'll just kind of cruise through Tonopah, or Tonopah, or whatever it's pronounced as. Just to make sure the inside of the trailer is okay. Now instead of taking the second road down, I'm going to take this one, because it largely doesn't matter, does it? I just want to unlock this road in the atlas of places I've been. Plus it's probably ever so slightly quicker. In fact, I'd argue that the fastest way would be straight, and then actually I've never gone straight along that road apparently. Just looking, there's a little gap there, so I possibly should have turned up and around, just lengthened it artificially a bit, but I'll stop up here and just make sure there's nobody coming. Nobody coming that way. Nobody coming that way. There we go. 80. Oh, I take that as a challenge game. So without further ado, let's get rolling. I'm gonna use all the gears. Let's roll this up into high revs. Just keep the revs high so we got the power. The higher the revs, the more power we actually produce. Almost time for 7th. 7th. And we're going 63 miles an hour. Very close to switching into high gear as well. And now 68, 69, 70. Going as fast as a truck probably normally would in the US. In most states, but because Nevada is a bit weird, we're still accelerating. We'll hit cruise in 8th low to get this thing at just cruising along at 80. Is that a 70 line? Oh. Speed limit's now 70. My fun is ruined. Also, my truck's not hitting 70, it's stuck at 69. There we go. 1 mile an hour makes a lot of difference over a longer distance. So, I mean, if I'm gonna go the speed limit, I'm gonna go exactly the speed limit. I know I could get away with 71 without getting any speeding troubles, but I'm going exactly the limit. And this is another largely featureless straight line. Gotta love the Arizona desert, guys. Largely featureless straight lines with distant mountains. That's the way to travel. There's a slight right kink coming up here. I've heard, and I don't know how true this is, that in some parts of America and some parts of the world where they do like having their straight roads, that there's every so often there's a slight curve to the right, just like that, or to one direction, I guess. And again, I don't know how true this is. I was told this by somebody years ago, but apparently there's slight turns on the road to make sure it's straight in regards to a map as opposed to reality. So you could be going along a perfectly straight road and then suddenly there's this right turn. And that's so that that's to deal with the curvature of the earth. I guess if you're going in the other direction, it'd be a left turn. Such as what we're getting to here is just a slight sweeping turn. Like that. I think is what they were kind of talking to me about. Never described like how tight it was, but they did say it was a relatively shallow, quick turn. And it looks like there's actually somebody ahead of me. Going 65, I guess. Or 40. There's 40. There's 30. So I'm guessing the person ahead of me is, whoever they are, also drives in a fairly realistic manner, which I applaud you, sir or madame, ahead of me. That you are driving with due care and attention. And strangely enough, we haven't run into any issues today. Just gonna... for anybody who might want to go right here, but no. Apparently, that must be the person that I applauded, I would presume. Get up to 30 and 4th high. Because I don't want to switch up into the higher range of gears. Prefer to just keep this in 4th high, burn a bit more fuel. Oh, there's our fuel gauge. We are at about a quarter tank, slightly less than a quarter tank, which I can deal with that. Now the big question is, where are we parking this? Is it in there? No, it looks like it's in here? Into that shed. Fair enough. I can do this. As long as the truck is relatively straight to begin with. Let's have a look at where it is. So we want to start with a very slight right turn. So something like that should do. Just make some small adjustments to... This is my hope. I'm talking through my thought process, making some small adjustments just to keep it going relatively in the way that I want, and keep the cab moving in the direction I want as well. Because the cab in theory is moving in the opposite direction to where I want the actual trailer to go. I'm wondering at this point if I could have just driven it in from the other side, but it's probably a bit late to be asking that. We're looking relatively good so far. Now if I do have to fix this, it'll be somewhat painless. I don't think I will. So if I just put in the clutch. Clutch this in now, I hope. When's the trailer going to reach the back of this parking space? There. As if by magic, I've actually parked it first time easily enough. So let's, yeah, let's just unload the trailer. Delivered, excellent, no damage. $11,000 and 577 experience. Awesome. So what I'm going to do now, just to end off the video, is I'm just going to park up because I saw a parking lot back around the corner here. And that's where I do like to leave my trucks, is in parking lots where possible. Because it makes sense to leave the truck there. While I'm putting it in there, I'm going to leave you guys by saying I've been RainbowDave, you've been watching American Truck Simulator, and until next time, stay safe, and always park your truck in a parking lot because it's somewhere you can actually refer to. Seriously, it's just a good idea. Don't just abandon it where you made your last delivery. Like Laka Paka here has the right idea. Let's see how close I can get it to the wall. So if you just nudge a truck in like this, you won't actually get damage ever. fully in. Good. Parking brake on. Lights off. Engine off. And I'll leave it there. Thank you all very much for watching. Stay safe. And goodbye.